the Stinky Popcorn Boys.
We watch movies and eat popcorn. And you're stinky.
Hello, hello. We are the Stinky Popcorn Boys, just some boys talking about movies and how they made us feel. I am Patrick Basquill, and gobble, gobble, bitch.
I'm John Gilardi, and I'm currently confused why there's no Thanksgiving movies or songs. It's like a holiday that isn't important to us.
But it's also incredibly important.
Yeah, to us.
Yeah.
I'd say it's my favorite holiday, honestly. The reasons I like Christmas are the same reason I like Thanksgiving, because it brings family together.
Family together. It's like kind of cold. It feels like the beginning of a finality. Like,
yeah, it's like the eve of the year.
Yeah,
I guess the eve of whatever year you're living in.
But it feels really hopeful too. Like it's a time of year I feel like feels like really hopeful.
So we got the Thanksgiving movie we could find. We looked everywhere. It's the only one we could find. I don't know. I'm making that up.
There's Piece of April, but that's not necessarily.
Won't be facetious.
Yeah. This is the only one that's out there.
But also genuinely, like when I try to think of a Thanksgiving movie, this is the only one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
So this is ThanksKilling.
ThanksKilling.
And we're gonna watch it and talk about it live.
Yeah.
I guess more or less. So if you are home or close to home, or you feel like doing something tonight, hold off on this podcast and watch it with us.
Yeah.
We have
as we watch through this movie, we're kind of trying to do a different thing or a new thing here, where, at least for this movie, because it is an hour and 7 minutes long or an hour and 6 minutes long,
and it's not a profound movie. We're
not.
still gonna podcast it up.
It is not a profound movie.
And with the disclaimer, we're still gonna podcast it. We're gonna talk.
This isn't like a click track where it's like we're gonna talk about this movie as it's happening.
You can listen to this independent of having watched the film or watching the film actively. It's just something we're doing differently.
Yeah.
But for those of you at home that do want to tag along, I am going to push play on the movie right now, and it's free on Amazon Prime.
It is free on Amazon Prime.
Free air quotes. You have to pay for the Prime membership, but it's on Amazon Prime.
That's true.
I need to mute the movie.
Need to mute the movie. We can't. That's too much audio. Too much audio. Crazy stuff. Okay, now we are starting the show.
Yeah, we're at 14 seconds on the timestamp.
14 seconds on the timestamp.
But yeah, so ThanksKilling. I guess I can talk
about it.
Some of my history of the experience I have with this film. So this was a.
The year is 1621.
For those of you that remember,
the olden days,
the Netflix streaming wasn't didn't have a lot of movies on it, and Netflix's streaming was very experimental way back around 2008, 2009, 2010, and so. I'm trying to actually talk.
He's trying to talk about it, but the literal first shot of the movie is just a close up of a woman's breast, and it is not clear, and I think it is not clear why this woman is topless, why she continues to be topless.
Yep.
Even through why she is running topless. She has enough. There is enough fabric for her and enough time for her to cover up her breasts.
Especially being a Puritan, how they were.
She is a Puritan right now. She's got the headscarf, but she is topless, and she's got big old boobies and they're out.
Yeah, that's pretty iconic, I guess, in terms of remembering this film. It's the movie that opens up on a bare boob.
On a bare boob.
And then a killer turkey says, "Nice
tits, bitch."
And then he kills her.
With the hatchet.
Yeah, so that's the opening of ThanksKilling, and it kind of frames it up. So to say I'm an early adopter, so I was on Netflix streaming that from day one, but the kind of quality and width of what was there was very limited. So you had indie films, foreign films, and then weird B-movie garbage such as ThanksKilling.
But some of that weird B-movie garbage was the stomping grounds for people who was good. I would say that this is a D movie.
Yeah. It's not B-movie in the sense of
and I think
I don't know.
Yeah, or indie fare, Safety Not Guaranteed or something like that, where it's General Bastard. That's what it was. But where it's this is a cheap movie, but it's good.
Yeah.
This is.
I do think this movie is kind of good at what it is.
Yeah, that kind of
if it's because like sometimes I don't know if they're self-aware, but then sometimes there's such potently good jokes that are just self-aware.
Oh, some of them are not very good.
Yeah,
Some of them, but they like ride the line. That's what this movie is. Very interesting to me, is because it's not good. But there's
some good genuine laughs.
They know that it's not good. They just, I don't know. It doesn't either go far enough. It just doesn't go far enough for me because it knows that it's not good. It knows that it's not gonna, like, that it's over the top. It's so close to something that's like South Parkian.
Yeah.
Where it's like a parody of what it is, but then it also is that.
Yeah. Well, because the stakes, not the stakes, but the
we
setup
got our
is
cool guy
interesting.
coming in. He's flipping his football.
But
needless fucking ripped shirt.
Before I get into my point is, I guess, quick synopsis. It's a movie about a killer turkey. He's essentially put here as a curse to kind of, I guess, kill white people because of the taking of land wrongfully away from
Pull
Native
your
American.
shirt down, honey. It's Thanksgiving, not
So, yeah.
tits-giving.
Yeah.
A lot of tit stuff, like right in the beginning
Oh,
of the movie, where we've decided that tits is our word.
Yep.
Sorry.
Because it begins with a T. But like, there's so much to this movie that it's just like, what the hell is this? What universe is this? And like the thing, like what I'm about, like the fact that this is Motley Crue is like backup quarterback to the college football team, redneck, like dipshit,
Yeah.
and then like regular girl, and then slutty girl, and then comic book nerd who wipes his face.
So much.
Yeah.
He wipes his face so much that
But,
could
like,
be his defining characteristic.
What universe is this? A normal group of friends? Like you could make a self-aware bad movie with bad good jokes, and have some like I don't like, to me, the fact that this Motley Crue is so mismatched and weird, and the fact that this redneck character is going to school who can't read.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't
even think about that.
It just doesn't make sense. Like I don't know.
But I don't think it's supposed to make sense.
Yeah.
You know, we show up, our first shot of the guy, he's flipping his football, and then the fucking redneck guy goes to his like, hey, don't worry about this nerd. He's with me. He's actually kind of nice. And then the football guy's like, all right. And here he goes, showing off his guns. They're making this connection. And there's, like, that's sort of my argument for maybe this movie is good, or it's so close to being fun and self-aware, but then the execution is less than.
I don't know. For me, it's not the execution. It's,
I don't know. There's something about it that doesn't make it so bad it's good. And I think it's because that they are so aware.
well, I think because maybe it's not well made.
Yeah, but I don't even know if, like...
See, like there's one shot, like, you know, in movies they always have the shot where they're going down the car and the camera tracks across.
Yeah.
And then it holds as they drive off in the distance.
Yeah.
In this movie, there's that shot, but it's poorly timed with the pan right, and then it hangs on, and
on like a fucking random, like...
it's on a bush and a light pole where you can't see anything.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that this is what the cinematographer's like, this is a good picture right here.
This is good stuff. Or that shot like we just saw as is where they're like, it's like the sped up while they're all like hanging out in the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, why did we need that sped up? Why did we need to see what they were doing? Just move it.
Yeah.
Just go, baby. Just move. This the whole thing in the car where they the whole thing in the car where it's like real close up shot, like, I don't know, it's clearly the person who's not driving is shooting, like they really were driving.
Yeah, and I think they probably only had one lens.
Mm-hmm.
And it was probably a I don't know, more of a telephoto. I don't know, whatever the
A zoom lens.
more of a zoom lens where they had no option but to be really close because they were probably at the furthest back point of this little Jeep, but it was still super punched in.
Yeah. No, not gay at all, Billy. I think spending time with your family is actually really cool.
He's one of the most important things in life.
And
well, the relationships are weird and not defined. So you have Johnny, the football jock,
I love
second
this-
string
I
quarterback.
love this flashback because there's not. You don't see the dad. They clearly hadn't cast the dad at this point. They weren't sure, and he's also clearly like a late 20s man.
Yep. Well, so he's a second string quarterback. So his dad is just not talk to him because he lost the starting job. So he's been shamed by his father, and they have an estranged relationship.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to that, I'm sure, in time.
Oh, we'll get there. Then this shift again. The dramatic shifts in character is one of the things that takes it apart.
Yeah, and it doesn't go anywhere. So they're driving the car, like having that classic, like, yeah, we're kids in college. It's Thanksgiving break, which Thanksgiving break is like a day and 2 days off,
Yeah,
and you have vacation. You
get the weekend, and
yeah,
then you come back, and maybe you miss Monday.
yeah.
But they're like Thanksgiving break, yeah.
Like it's this big thing, but like they're about to unleash. And
But this nerd is like, you know what? This Thanksgiving break, I'm gonna break loose. I'm gonna fuck one of you guys, one of the people in this car. I'm gonna have sex with one of you guys.
it's really extreme,
And it's like
kind of rapey,
Jesus, hold on, you can't just.
and it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, there's nothing about him. They also haven't been making fun of him for being like. Hey, that like they didn't do like the traditional like, oh, you're a virgin, you fucking loser guy.
Yeah.
It just kind of like comes up, you know.
Well, then there's this weird love triangle between the skanky girl and the regular. Like, I don't know what the characteristic of the other girl is. She's just a basic girl.
She is a girl. She is a female who is nice and her calls her dad.
Yep. And then you have Johnny, and so Johnny he's kind of into the regular girl, but he feels the attention just a touch from the slutty girl. But the slutty girl
He definitely
is like,
doesn't shut her down.
yeah, he doesn't shut her down. But then the skanky girl is all about Johnny in front of the girl the two of them are clearly dating. It's just,
Or they're not clearly dating and they haven't defined it yet, but they also clearly are like sort of like
into each other.
we both into each other. And then and again, I'm not saying that it needs to be real, but the character relationships
I mean, it has no resolution.
aren't defined.
Yeah, I mean, you have the nerd character, this big setup, this monologue about he wants to get some. He's about to unleash on Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, he's gonna finally go hard.
as you do, and then that doesn't go anywhere. I'm glad it doesn't, because that would have been really not fun.
I
to
was
watch.
hoping. Here's what I was hoping. I was hoping that he was gonna hook up with the redneck guy. Like I was like,
well, they kind of teased that.
they did. They kind of teased it. This is one of my favorite scenes. This is one of my favorite scenes
in the movie.
and where he's actually like, man, did you shit in that coffee?
She's like, as a matter of fact, I did.
She's like, yeah, here it is. And I feel like that is good. That is good. And then when he fields the phone call and he's just like, I want a divorce. He's like, all right, then. It's like, that is good. That's fun. That's fun, self-aware, like, fuck yeah. I actually did shit in this coffee. How fucking dare you?
Yeah.
You know, I want a divorce. And then it's like the fact that that's who he is. It sets up really clear characters. And that's one of the things that this movie does actually pretty well is say yes to itself. And the fact that he has a fake mustache on and is like, this is a man. He's wearing a brown shirt. He is a cop. He has a hat on that says that he's got a cop. It's a plastic badge, but he's a cop.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's got a mustache.
He's got a regular cat. Oh, here's the shot I was talking about for those watching.
Oh my gosh. We're
Like,
just
you
sitting on
coulda-
this bush.
you coulda gone
and
on
we
the other
shoulda
side
cut,
of the
and we should have cut. And we should have cut.
Or just put the camera on the other side of the fence so you can actually see the fucking car,
They
not a
couldn't.
shitty
It was
bush.
private property, dude. They couldn't get over there. They were
Yeah.
going to get shot.
It was definitely a lot of guerrilla filmmaking, which is fun in its own right, and I definitely respect that.
This shot where they're getting out of the car, and it's clearly much darker than it was. And then when they get out of the back, and it is that where it's just a blast of light.
Yep.
And it's like, again, you got to do what you got to do, and I appreciate and applaud the effort, but also don't use that shot. This shot is fine. It is just clearly darker than it was in the previous shot.
And you also have the headlights of the
You
car
know.
to sell it.
That is what it is. But and again, I know we're being nitpicky about this stuff. But one of the things, like I was saying, that's like, yeah, The jokes are like the character archetypes are set up and they're strong. It's just the getting to them, like the getting to them. It's like they've got 1 and they've got 5, but they don't have 2, 3, and 4. If that tracks, that follows a little bit, because usually, all right. So when you write a scene, or when I write a scene,
Yeah.
you have 1, and this is when I learned in Second City, is like you have 1, which you set up your characters, you set up your premise, and then 2, you set up the inciting action or whatever like that. 3, you expand upon that. 4, you enhance it, and it grows, and then 5, you get your punchline.
Yeah.
And so they have 1 and they have 5, but they don't have 2, 3, and 4.
They never develop or grow anything.
You know, and you know the actors are bad, and so it's like, again, this all could be like forgiven, but it's like they don't finish everything. This fucking bullshit where he's like Flemberg or whatever it is, Grawberg, and he just fucking, where did I hear that before? But all of this is like almost could be funny.
Yeah. Well, I want to know where they found these actors. So like, I think there's a amount of self-awareness or maybe desperation for a certain to get into a B or D movie.
I think they're all friends.
Yeah. That's probably what it is.
That's what I think.
I mean, it has to be super homegrown, where the adults are friends and family, or friends of family, or they're just wholesome middle America people who just want to have fun on a set, and they'll do whatever you ask them to do.
We're actually coming up on one of my favorite moments in the thing. Is this like
animation sequence?
The animation sequence.
I feel like I can't. I'll have to ask him, but this seems like this is the art style of one of the Neebs gaming guys, through and through.
Oh.
And I feel like it might be Johnny Ethko.
I don't know, but yeah.
But this is the Neebs gaming style in terms of just like a goofy, janky animation style.
I love it. It is awful, but also like, I don't know, it's good. I wish that they did this more. Not that they need to do this, but like the hanging dick right there. You know, the comedy that we've got in this, where it's like the visuals match the tone of the jank. Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah. It's just so close to the edge of what I think would be really fucking entertaining. Even in like a D or C movie, like terrible, this is awful. But even then, you got to get 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
You got to have those things.
Well, how do you think they found the boob lady?
They paid her $150.
Well, there was a porn star title. Porn star.
Yeah.
It was like not Kendra Lust.
Wanda Lust.
Wanda Lust. So that's probably Wanda Lust. So that's probably how they got that.
Wanda Lust. Yeah, and then General Bastard or whatever. I think he's the guy with no teeth.
He's not an actor and probably not a porn star, so I don't know why he's touting the title of General
Bastard.
Yeah,
he's just a General Bastard. I think that's like something that he did that's like funny.
He probably has like, I don't care about this credit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's just gonna go. They didn't trick him into it, but they were like, yeah, whatever, fucking go ahead. This scene where they're
getting all the exposition.
We're getting all the exposition, and then we're getting.
They're doing the classic logo cover up thing.
Yeah, they are.
All the beer cans.
I noticed that.
And that's a debate. Is like, does that matter? Is that a real thing? Like, I think that like if you have a potential of earning money through product placement, then maybe you block that off so you don't get that. But I don't. And or also is it like a film festival thing where you're like, hey, did you have a deal with Coke? Or can you show Coke?
Well, I think it's
like, where is that coming from?
I think it's more that they can take your movie down or like be like, hey, we don't like the way that Bud Light is being portrayed in this movie.
So you don't want the liability.
So we don't want, yeah. So it's like rather than having the liability, we'll just fucking cover it up.
Yeah. Because I know in broadcast and stuff like that, it's 100% like in
kill
TV.
Kill the dog.
Yeah. Hey, kill a dog, bad movie automatically.
Bad movie automatically. Especially just so sloppy. Accident. Do you like the turkey? Do you like... I mean...
I don't hate him.
I don't hate him.
I think he's the most consistent character. I think he...
That's funny. You're right.
Because you know who he is. He is the most consistent. He develops the most.
First my wife and then my dog Flashy. Why, God, why?
Yeah, so the General Bastard's dog gets killed by
Maybe
the turkey.
General Bastard. We not confirm that, but
The redneck is the only...
the redneck is our boy in the back there with the chin beard. Oh my gosh. The classic this classic like campfire scene, everybody's like gonna pair off. It's again, everything in this movie is so close where it's like, oh, what's our beats? We kind of hit our beats. But then they don't like execute it. I love the emphatic press of the button. You see her like acting and she's emphatically pressing the button. She's like, yeah. And I'm calling. You can't see my hand, so it doesn't matter. But it's like with her.
I'd say the Plain Jane girl is the worst actor.
Which is weird because she gets. I would say that I don't know. They're all pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, just comparing.
I don't know. She gets the most screen time.
I mean, her delivery, I'd say, is the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, the subtleties in her face maybe is not the worst of them.
I'd say too that she has the hardest job.
Yeah.
You know, it's the hardest to be the straight person. Mm-hmm. It's easier, especially if you're a bad actress or a bad actor, or you just don't have that much experience.
Yeah.
You know, I feel bad. I'm sorry that I was like, you're a bad actress. I don't know you. I don't think you're very good, but I apologize for knocking down your dreams as you get chased away by a rubber turkey. But it's hard to do that. It's easy to play a caricature. It's easy to play, hey, man, I'm going to shoot some bear and blah, blah, blah. Or like, I'm a big old slut. I just do dick stuff and I just do hide my boobies and stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
It's easier to play that, you know, but it's harder to be like.
Also, the caricatures kind of mask your ability.
Yeah.
Because you see the caricature first and foremost almost.
Yeah. And then also you get the easy lines like, you're almost as dumb as like, you're dumber than I am. Or like, you know, have some nerd stuff, but it's like,
how old is that that trope of the nerd swiping his nose? And it's like it's wiping the nose because it's like congestion issues. But in this, he wipes his mouth.
Wipes his mouth.
Yeah, and it's like he wipes his mouth. It's like really wet. It's like, is he drooling? Like,
it's kind of like he's salivating like the whole time.
I don't know who's out of the 5 archetypes, who's your favorite in
this movie
and most repugnant character?
I mean, I think my favorite is probably Johnny, just for later the way that he reacts.
Yeah. I'd say Johnny's up there.
Also, what is it about Johnny being in like the kind of like the go-to name for the protagonist? Like The Room. It's like, oh, hi, Johnny.
I don't know.
You know, and I feel like there's another where it's like Johnny is like the person. It's like, oh, it's John, but he's light. This boy, they're very chill. A bunny
Out of nowhere
leapt into their fire. And they're like, all right, yeah, this is the wood. This kind of stuff happens all the time. And it's like, when do bunnies just jump
into fires?
Jump into fires.
I mean,
what do they want?
Do you think there's like a world where this movie was made and they made the setting of the movie more clear? Do you think that would have been better? Or do you think they doubled down on the rednecks or doubled down the jocks? Like, is there a version of this movie that's a little bit better outside of execution?
I think that you could feel up your own boobs. I'm trying to think about how you make this movie better, because I think, you know, obviously there have been movies where they've made ridiculous concepts and then make an entertaining. Everybody's going into the same tent. They're like, oh,
but they're playing it off like that.
But everybody's playing it off like there's separate tents.
Also, why didn't have? Why is there multiple tents in the car on their way home from college?
Where was the space to have the multiple tents?
They could barely fit in the car.
They could, yeah.
Where was the beer that they talked
beer?
about having? Because they have a little Jeep, a Wrangler.
Why did the clearly marshmallow painted brown? Why did the fucking turkey take the time to shit on his chest and not kill him?
Well, I think he was about to kill him.
And he's shitting?
But yeah, well, birds don't control their sphincters.
They don't?
No, that's why. Like it's never personal when a bird poops on you, or when when it's ready, it comes out. When it goes through the digestion tract.
Holy shit!
It's a get
I
in,
learned
get
that
out.
here for the first time.
Yeah. So I buy that. That's pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, maybe turkeys are different because they're bigger land birds, but
someone tell us in the comments. Are turkeys better? Wearing the same shirt.
Can turkeys control their sphincter?
Can turkeys control their sphincters? I think that this movie is better if it tries harder at being ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think that if
it gets there at the
really
end of the movie. Like I think the end is stronger than
but I think that they need
the
to
beginning.
They need to like lean into it, like the fact that they are all wearing the same clothes, like that they are human cartoon characters.
Yeah.
You know, I think that they need to lean into that better. It obviously needs to be a little bit written better. I think maybe with proper actors and not friends from Newark, Ohio, which is I'm pretty sure where it's shot, because in that scene later I saw Jono's Coffee and I searched. I was trying to find John.
I was curious. I was like, maybe I should look that up.
And it's in Newark, Ohio, and they actually have a picture of that scene, the ice cream shop.
In the ice cream shop?
In the the Google thing of it.
Oh.
But this where they also all sort of believe at this point, you're a freak, Billy. A freak, but I believe your story.
Well, the turning around of why are they believing him? Because all his I guess to contextualize for the audio only people. I guess everyone's audio only, but to contextualize is that the girl, I don't remember her name, Beth maybe. I don't remember her name, but she sees the turkey herself. She runs back and is like, "What the fuck? I saw the turkey!" And they all call her crazy. And then the redneck dude goes to sleep, and he wakes up with turkey shit on his chest. And the general bastard dude said he saved his life.
Yeah.
And so, some reason
they believe
Billy and the story, and they're all sympathetic for him and the trauma he went through. And I would way more argue the fact that the girl had more traumatic experience just seeing this killer turkey.
Here's my second favorite scene, maybe.
Set the stage.
All right, so we've got a car driving up. We've got our turkey. He's on the side of the road like a little old guy. And this guy, he's like, ass, gas, or grass.
Which is,
give me ass. So he's like, oh. And so the turkey turns around, and this guy inspects his turkey's ass. Like he's going to fuck this turkey. This man is fully going to have sex with this turkey.
Because this is real life.
And he pulls over with the intention of fucking this turkey. Now the turkey has a gun. Where was did the man have the gun in his thing, or did the turkey just have a gun in his ass?
I'm pretty sure it's a BB gun.
Tell us, John, is it a BB gun? It looks like a BB gun. Now the turkey is making him call his kids.
I wondered about this because this has no purpose. It's just cruelty.
It's just the turkey is an asshole. But this man was fully about to have sex with the turkey. He pulled over to what he knew was a turkey and was like, I'm either going to get money, gas, or I'm going to fuck this turkey. And he was...
Or weed, or drugs
weed, or drugs. Yes, that's what grass
means?
is,
okay.
yeah. And it's like, that man was going to fuck that turkey. And he was ready and excited. He was hoping that turkey didn't have any drugs or money on him, because he was like, I'm going to have sex with this turkey. That's why he pulled over.
Did the turkey need to expose himself to get the leg up and shoot him?
Maybe the turkey needed him to not to have his hands down his pants like Rudy Giuliani.
Hey.
This man, for someone who is interested in this girl, he is like soaking up this archetype slut.
Well, there's no reason why he shouldn't go with her that we're given. And like,
oh my god, this fucking joke. The over and over again. They couldn't keep her. It was like her legs. You couldn't close her legs.
I got it written down.
Oh my god, what was it? I wrote it down so many times.
So there's this joke. So you got the slutty character, right? And they drop this joke at the beginning of the movie in the first 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's
Couldn't-
she can't keep her legs shut, like the John Benet Ramsey case.
Or you couldn't closed because the case closed.
Yeah, she can't keep her legs closed. And then literally 10, 15 minutes later, they make the same joke, and it's not self-aware that they made the same joke again.
But that to me is fine. That to me is fine. We'll get back to the John Benet joke because it has a really bad payoff because it's not funny. But this woman is his wife. I don't know this to be true, but I think in real life they are the same age. And I just like that in the universe.
So Johnny goes home and he's with his mom.
He's with his mom and he's like, I'm gonna go talk to my dad. And
his dad's such a piece of shit.
His dad is like, hey, long time no see. And he's like, oh, how are you? And he's farts. And it says, that's how fucking good I am. That fucking air of shit. But this woman is got to be like his stepwife that he's like, yeah, I married
she's
this
very
lady.
young.
She's very young. But Johnny goes out. He's like, I'm just going to lie to him.
Well, again, for context, his dad has shunned his son because he's not the starting quarterback anymore.
Because he's not the starting quarterback anymore of like a fucking community college or some bullshit. He's out there fucking a big old stogie. He's like, God, my son's so fucking disappointing.
He's like, my life fucking sucks. My son's a second
my
string quarterback.
son's a fucking piece of shit. God. And then he's like, oh, my wife is so much younger than me. I bet you she sleeps with my son, who's is a second string quarterback.
My wife sleeps with second string quarterbacks. That her son. My life
I hate them
sucks.
both. I hate them both.
Well, then, so Johnny comes to his dad. And he's like, I'm the starting quarterback now. And the transformation on his dad's face.
Oh, I fucking love you now, son.
He's like, I know you could do it just like me.
Yeah.
He's like, what a fucking dick of a parent. What a petty shithead. But then, you know, the dad died happy. And
That's what I put in is like, at least he died. And he thought his son was a first-string quarterback.
And their relationship was on a lie, but it was reconciled.
The fucking head flying through the air. This is great. His wife, the lady just there with her.
Just standing dead.
Just standing dead.
So Johnny has to deal with the fact that both his parents just got murdered.
Why does...
And his first thing is no more... like, obviously it's a Thanksgiving movie, so they're trying to tie it.
No
but
more
like,
cranberry sauce.
Just fucking turkey.
I'm gonna kill him. Why did he run away?
Why didn't he call the cops?
Why did he run away? Why didn't he kill that turkey then? Turkeys are turkeys. Turkeys are scary. They're little mini raptors.
Yeah.
I know that turkey had a knife, but why didn't he kill that turkey?
When they actually fight back against the turkey, even when he has his like
they beat the shit out of him.
Voodoo powers, they can still control him because he's a turkey. I guess he's invincible, but you can still overpower him, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know the rules of this universe.
I mean, there's not any explained.
Yeah.
And, this bit, he killed my parents, and he's just there chilling. Like hasn't gone to the
alcohol.
cops.
That's the most that we have is that he's drinking because he's sorrowful.
This looks like this is awful. Like
the fake sex scene.
The fake sex scene where it's like.
So the skanky girl, he knew it was coming.
Yeah, she's gonna have sex at some point.
So she has some random dude, and they're boning.
I think he's actually one of the writers of the movie.
Oh,
because I think
writer cameo.
Yeah, but she's like, yeah, I love Johnny. But in the wide shot, you're like, oh, her shirt is clearly over her butt. And then it's not later. I don't know. It's a continuity thing. It's fine. But then this turkey comes in.
He kills the guy that's having sex with her. She's facing away, so she doesn't know. And then the turkey just starts, essentially, I guess, raping her.
Do turkeys have penises?
I don't know.
Do turkeys have? Would a turkey be able to?
I mean, they have to procreate.
I have to imagine that the difference. You just got stuffed. But I have to imagine that the difference. I do not have a vagina, but I have to imagine the difference
in anatomy,
in feeling.
Oh, like
between a human penis and a turkey penis, whether or not it's a necronomicized penis or not, has to be substantial.
Well,
maybe even the turkey has a huge penis.
Well, I think the idea is she's dumb as dirt. So it doesn't.
But she still
I mean,
does.
she's still a human with can feel.
She
She
still
should be
has-
in tide with what she's feeling in her body.
She knows. Oh, this is it. This is the fucking terrible thing. Her legs are harder than. That's awful.
She clothes in John Bonet's.
Then John Benet Ramsey's legs is an 8-year-old girl. That's a terrible joke. That is an awful joke.
So he told the joke incorrectly.
Yeah. So the joke. That's the payoff of the joke.
Is
That he tells that awful joke. So her legs are harder to close than the John Benet Ramsey case because they couldn't figure out who killed John Benet Ramsey. It's awful. It's a little 8-year-old, 9-year-old girl, and the fact that that's the payoff of that,
That's awful.
that sort of borderline joke anyway, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, the case was really fucking hard to close. It's awful, but the fact that the payoff is implying that they fucking molested a little girl is awful and not funny, you know?
Well, the fact that they were so proud of that joke, that I would say
That they went through.
they said the fact like that was a tentpole joke in this movie. That
Yeah.
was like, the writers are fucking about it.
They went back to it. They did the rule of threes. They did it 3 times.
I think that was also that maybe them think like, I think anyone who pays attention to how things are made, cinema and movies and TV, have a basic understanding of the rule of 3 with comedy,
Yeah.
and that's probably all they had was like, hey, 3 times, right? It's got
And then you twist it the 3rd time.
yeah.
And that's like that is what we call a groaner. But that is so bad and so just like in bad taste. Then that's like what leads me to believe that this is kind of like an in-house, like what this movie is to me. It feels like they
Made it for themselves.
that it was something like a bunch of like friends. This is what it was like when I was a pizza delivery driver. We would talk about like movies or like stuff and stories that we had or whatever, and like we would kind of like, oh yeah, that was like how you pass the time on the shift, or like when you was in a dish pit and the thing, and you kind of talk about, and you all kind of like, So what it feels like to me is that these guys like wrote this movie and like fucked around and were like, oh yeah, this would be funny, and then they figured out a way to make it.
yeah.
You know, or this was like their like baby whenever they were in film school
Felt
or
very
whatever,
film school.
and they were like, oh, we're gonna fucking make this finally and do all this stuff, and that, you know, like someone wrote the script on a legal pad and then they bounced it around and they like, oh, it was like by committee, but it's just like,
I just looked at the budget. If you're curious,
how much? What is the budget?
take a guess.
$20,000,
Oh, take another guess.
$80,000.
$3,500,
Okay.
which means all favors were pulled, friends are used.
All favors are pulled. All mustaches were fake. Okay. This scene. This is actually one of my favorite scenes. I've said that so far. I have 3 favorite
you seem
scenes.
like you might like this movie.
I do almost like this movie, but even as I don't, like, this is funny to me.
So there's a scene where the cop dude, I guess, I don't know why he dressed up. I guess he was going to a charity
There's
event.
like a contest. There's a contest apparently, but it just says win contest and there's a drawing of a turkey.
So he dressed up as a turkey, and as he leaves, the turkey's here.
Yeah.
And so he's hanging out with him, and they're having a whole argument about swearing.
They're having a conversation about tea and swearing and how old he is, and the turkey is like, oh, I guess I'm gonna fuck off now, and he hits him with the odd little duck, and that's the line. That's when he's gonna kill him. I don't understand. Like,
Why was he there?
Why was he there? Why didn't he kill the sheriff immediately?
Well, so he wasn't. I mean, I guess the only explanation is he's like, okay, this guy's all right. I mean, whatever. He's dressed as a turkey. That's pretty tight. I'm a turkey. I'm gonna let him. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
He's
I'll
like,
leave him
oh yeah,
alone.
you're dressed as a turkey. I like you. All right.
And he's like, I'm gonna hide out. I'm gonna kill your kid, but I'm gonna hide out. I'll leave you alone. But then he calls him a duck, and he's like, ooh, no, man.
That's too far.
Yeah.
That's too far. I don't know. I don't know what I would do, but if both of my parents were killed, I wouldn't just be like chilling. I guess I'm gonna hang out. But this is what works for me, is the fucking obliviousness of like the ripped off face. He's like, oh, I got a haircut.
Yeah, so the turkey takes the face off the dad and wears it, and it's just a turkey with a shitty face. I'm like, oh, look at your dad.
But it works for me.
Yeah.
Like, for me, this is like, this is stupid, but I love it.
Well, I think that's where the movie can shine best is when it has the ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Or like the turkey landing in radioactive waste.
Yep.
And then the girl eating that turkey leg that came out of the turkey that was
But it's fried.
radioactive.
It gets fried.
True. I wonder if there's some science there.
There's no science. I don't look into it in this movie at all. Don't even think about it.
Well, I think that's kind of like, obviously it yields a shitty movie, but like knowing you're writing a not great movie, I think gives so much liberation to research and world building that you can truly just make it up.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of like that idea in terms of like having fun with that idea of just kind of just using my basic knowledge of something and just writing something. And not having to worry about the research or the authenticity. I don't know. I think there's a certain liberation.
And then even here in this scene, they don't close the door. They're like, "Oh, Daddy, go away. Okay, good luck now." We don't see him walk away. We don't see him leave, and they just leave the door open and start talking about the turkey and what they're actually there for.
Yeah. Well, then there's a montage.
That's the thing that works for me.
Yeah.
What we're about to get to.
So they need. So again, this is, I guess, to build up even more. The absurdity is, the dad, the sheriff, he collects books.
So
they go there because she's like, my dad has a lot of books.
He probably has a book on this ancient turkey order thing.
Because that's how book ownership
for sure.
works. I have a ton of books. You will not probably find anything about the Pilgrims in any of my book collection.
I don't know anything about. I don't have a single book. This man just had some cold. He just had some cold French fries in his pocket. Our big old redneck boys just eating some. Oh yeah, a little moment between two people. I mean, when I first saw this montage,
a montage of book research. I was like, guys, you're like, what are we doing with this montage where we're like padding? We're padding the time of this, like, already, like, it's an hour-long movie, but it feels like more because everything is bad. Yeah.
Like, that's we've talked about that before, is like a good movie, even if it's an hour and 50 minutes long or 2 hours long, it doesn't feel that way as long as it's moving. This movie, it doesn't move.
Yeah.
And one of the things is the montage almost works for me, but they've been doing all this research, and then he finally finds it, and that took forever. That was 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it almost works for me because it's self-aware, and it's like, that was 5 minutes. Yeah. We weren't doing anything, and that,
I think I was along that. I was like, why? Why are they taking so long? The turkey is right there.
Yeah.
And then it's like, 5 minutes. Okay, that makes sense. So it wasn't actually that long of a passage of time.
But then they're also reading stuff, and then they're like, oh, I finally found it. It's like, what the fuck were you reading for?
Yeah. If you knew you were looking for something, then why were you sifting through books? Also, the book to kind of illustrate the shittiness and the budgetness of it, which but low budget can.
Listen,
and this can breed some creativity, but it's just printed out paper, like glue sticked onto cardboard, and you can see the corrugated cardboard, and there's close-ups of this prop. It's just and then. The weird thing, like, I think this is where it's
a mathematic code. I can crack it.
But why was this book written in the 1600s?
But
why was it written and printed with a mathematical code to kill him?
But that's funny. Like, that's almost funny.
It is almost funny, but it just relies on the nerd archetype.
But it's
and also, like, he's like, they're like pressuring him, like, you got to figure out this code, man. He's like, I'm working on it. And then they're like, they pressure him again. He's like, I'm working on it. And then 2 seconds later, he comes. He's like, I figured it out. And it's just that he's a nerd.
I know, but it's like, it's so close to working. It's so close to working, but oh my God, clearly.
He just looks like he got jelly on his face.
the man, he's like, oh, that's his face. They took his face. I mean, again, it's not bad. Like, as far as balling on a budget.
It's not bad, especially for the longer shots or the further away shots. It's the close-ups when some of this stuff can fall through.
Yeah. Why doesn't this man fucking take out this turkey? The redneck right now, he's having a confrontation with this turkey. I'll defend it.
I think it's just trying to move with the stupid archetypes.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's even a, let's go in that shed kind of thing, which is, like, a tried and true stupid thing that happens in movies.
This is a great line where it's like, oh, but we gave you casinos and land, and then the turkey's like, it almost worked, but it didn't. people land and casinos. Doesn't that make up for what our ancestors did?
Like, I don't know if it's trying to make a commentary or it's just like, hey, I don't think they have an agenda with this movie or something they want to say.
He grabs his turkey and he's got him. It's a turkey.
It's all under control right there.
It's under control, and he better read this mathematical formula. Tie him up.
Well, I'd say a joke that definitely hit well is like, I got rope. Or do you have any rope? He's like, yeah, I got rope. And he pulls out of his back pocket string. Like, oh, sick, cool, thanks for the rope.
I mean,
I don't know if that's like bad because to them that's rope because this crew of people, I don't know.
Oh, they got the talisman. That's what that was. I was like, when did they get the talisman?
So the talisman's like what protects him.
That's when that was.
So it's step one. To defeat the crazy turkey, you need to take the talisman, and then you need to do a chant in a group backwards, and then you have to burn him at the stake.
Yeah, you have to burn him at the stake. You can't just shoot him.
Yeah.
As we find out. But this, I don't know, man. This movie is so close to being really fun, but they needed the slow walk up here. His parents just died. Both of his parents just died. And
hers did too,
and
right?
her dad is dead. And her parents are going through a divorce.
Well, it was her stepmom.
Her stepmom.
One easy thing that would have been ridiculous was that the estranged ex-wife that pooped in his coffee somehow led them on or set this up or was like, fuck that guy, I'm going to have him killed off by a turkey. Or maybe all of this was maybe that's how you make this movie better, is that this was all some contrived method to get him killed, so that she could inherit all his wealth or something, or inherit his assets instead of a divorce and split it, or a divorce and gets nothing because of whatever maybe arrangement they had. Because that could be maybe that's something simple.
They're about to kiss, and both of their family units are destroyed, and it's just them from here on out. Yeah. And there's a killer turkey, but they need to kiss right now. I think that this movie is good if you don't take it seriously, and if you play it like a sitcom. Like if he's like playing it over the top and he's like, gosh, I'm just so sorry that we both have this experience right now, but what we have to do, Sharon or whatever her name is we have to commit to each other. And if it's like nobody has any goals, nobody's leading towards anything.
Yeah.
You know? Like everything is just kind of happening to them. And I think that
their goals is that they're going home from college,
but they're there already,
and they don't even establish Frizzy have been to university or something like that. You know, you hitch rides with people, or people hitch rides with you, whatever way, that are from your hometown, even if you're not friends.
Yeah,
and that setup is so good for a motley crew.
Yeah,
and that would have made sense. But here they play it off like they're all old friends. But it feels so disjointed because you have the redneck, you have the skank, you have the basic girl, you have the jock, and you have the nerd. But if it was like, if they made it more known, or they're like, I don't know, I think that's just an interesting dynamic at play where they don't actually like each other, or they have history in high school about maybe being bitter rivals or bullying and all these things, and they got to come together, or they got to figure each other out. Like, that's a pretty compelling setup.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, so what about this? I think that, and I think I figured out why this movie is it doesn't hit the spot for me.
Yeah.
As he just says, I hit the spot. That's fake turkey. And then we got our alien throwback here. But I think it's because none of them have any goals. Again, this movie doesn't need to be important.
Yeah.
But like what makes those archetypes work is that, all right, so we've got our fat guy. He needs to want to eat all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to want to eat all the time, and he's like, that needs to be his thing. He needs to go and try and find food everywhere, you know? But he's just also kind of there.
Yeah. Well, maybe that you can introduce something where the turkey he sees as food.
Yeah.
Or maybe he doesn't respect the turkey, or maybe
he wants to eat the turkey. They all have different reasons for being, you know, the nerd is actually like, he's like a D&D nerd instead of like a math nerd, and he like loves the occult and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like because that's the nerd archetype that I actually like a little bit. Is not necessarily like the D&D nerd, but like the nerd who is good at his thing, but not good at. He's not the smart catch-all Deus Ex Machina.
Well, I think there's a misunderstanding. I mean, I think this is pretty established, but there's geek and there's nerd, and I think geek is a generally smart person, or a nerd is a generally passionate person.
Okay.
Or you can interchange them. Either way, I think they're used as blanketed terms when.
I also like this scene that we're about to do. We're about to go into a little music video.
Yeah, so the fat redneck dies
because we did an alien. He popped out. He ate it. He ate a cartoon turkey.
Yeah, he ate the essence of the turkey, or like some ghost of the turkey, and then the turkey busted out of him. Right? Hey, cool. I mean, that's the kind of ridiculous that you want.
Yeah, I'm with it. But now we've got long close-ups of this. Not very good. I'm not really sure what I'm watching here.
Yeah. It looks like, and the speckling kind of looks like seasoning speckled on. Like, I don't know what the little black dots are. Yeah,
I don't know why we're that close to it for that long. They should have gone into the music video earlier. And I think that's one of the things with this movie is like they need to get to the fun part. Get to the fun part.
So the redneck's dying, and then the nerd's like, "I love you, man. You're my best friend ever."
They should have kissed. They should have fucking kissed.
And it goes into like a almost sort of teasing, like homoerotic montage between the nerd
and
the redneck, where they're skipping, they're holding hands, they're going on dates.
I need full penetration.
Yeah, I mean, as Christian says.
Yeah.
And it's funny, it's good, it's ridiculous, and it's also just weird and jarring because there's nothing ever established that they're friends, but the redneck dude does drop the F-bomb at him. He says. So like maybe there's something interesting there. Like maybe there's some really repressed stuff between them.
I really think this movie would have been much more interesting if Billy and Darren were secretly gay together. That's much more fun, just right off the bat.
Because like this reads as like comedy, like goofy guys doing goofy things, but you could also look at it as like,
oh, he's gone,
like repressed lovers, you know?
That looks like some bad Windows Movie Maker stuff right there, where it was like that like blink frame that we had.
Just left his body.
They just left his body there. But again, that kind of shit I love.
Yeah,
where it's just like. Yeah, fuck it. That's what we're just moving along. I don't know, man. This movie is so close to me that it's like, oh yeah, we're making a salad tossing joke. Great job. But it's so close to me because it's there. There's pieces there that you could expound upon and make interesting. This fucking TP it's not TP.
They were like, where can we find him? And he's like, well, he's a Native American spirit, so he must be by some teepees. Well, there's not a lot of teepees here in Ohio.
Can't be that hard to find. And this poor teepee looks like a piece of shit. It's
just a basic wood frame with bed sheets.
That is an insult to teepees. Teepees were like constructed and like spread animal skins, treated. There's that rope. Perfect. The thinnest rope in the world. Yeah, I'll be able to use this to make a fucking G-string out of to give to Darren.
Well, to be fair, the bird is small.
He is small. They have proved that they can fucking beat him very easily.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was like, how they're like, it's avenge Billy's death. What
also,
about, like,
where does glasses go?
I don't know.
Where does glasses go?
I thought I missed it, but I
don't know if I missed it. He didn't have his glasses when they got back in the car. I noticed that this time. But I remember watching this the first time and being like, where does glasses go? I'm always prepared, baby. And
I hate how much like they do the football similes and metaphors in this.
Yeah.
And then, like I see that's where it loses me because I think they think they're being clever. I just have weird deja vu. I think they think they're being clever, but they're not. Because
they're not going far enough.
And it's damn, the deja vu is coming to me really hard.
Okay, hold on. Let's ground us in reality. Today is
okay. You're even pushing the deja vu because I remember the deja vu is you bringing me back.
No.
What the fuck?
Oh no, we're going deeper.
Yeah,
deeper and deeper.
I think we hit the end of it. But what was I saying?
the football metaphors you don't like.
Oh yeah, because see that I think they think they're clever. I think I get the essence of that is coming across as clever writing, and it's not. And there's a lot of like they try to compare football to life and how life you should just take it by the flow and ebb and flow, but in football, real life should be more like football, where you can make a change at the line, where you can go left or right, and that's the same thing, ebb and flow. Like the point they're making is the same thing. It doesn't make sense, and that's not funny. There's no way that's a joke. There's no way that's a self-aware joke.
Yeah,
I think that is just inept, not inept, but incompetent writing.
It's not good writing.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's anything. It's this movie almost accidentally is fun. This movie is almost accidentally I don't think, and I apologize to those who make this movie if you hate me now forever, but I don't think that, and maybe they can correct me, but I don't think that the stuff that they did was purposeful. That the stuff that worked was purposeful. I think it was either stuff that they.
It's also a 12-year-old movie too.
Yeah.
So it's like the climate and the tone and the media and the content that was coming out then was different, and the way it influenced it, or maybe that stuff that influenced it has aged, et cetera, whatever. But so the stuff you're saying is aged well is you watching it through the lens of today and your humor and media today.
Yeah, that's true.
So does that mean it was those things that hit? Are they timeless? Does that mean they were ahead of their time? Like what does that mean?
See, it's a parody of a pulp horror movie.
Yeah.
It's a parody of a pulp horror movie where it's like the ridiculous thing happens, and it's like, yeah, he gets shot, but he gets shot into radioactive chemicals.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, of course, of course he does.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it work, John? Is it because it's
the whole movie?
Why isn't it? Why isn't it?
Also, why is the hermit? Oh, because is it a bandage?
Yeah, he's got a bandage over his eye. He got his eye hurt somehow. I don't know.
I don't know why this movie doesn't work.
It's for me. It's close.
I enjoyed it to an extent, but I didn't enjoy it fully. I guess I didn't enjoy.
But I don't even think it's
things were annoying. I don't know. I think I more so enjoyed, not like because it was good bad, but because it was like bad, and I was like, that was bad, and that's fun to recognize that for being bad. And then I want to think about how it could be done better, or maybe why these people made this decision. To me, that was an experience that was enjoyable for an hour and 6 minutes. I can't, but in terms of why it's bad, why it doesn't work, I mean, I think it comes down to the fact that you have 5 chances of characters to win us, and each of them are not great.
But is it the acting? Is it because the movie is not written well, but I do think that it's aware enough. There's a level of weird intelligence about this movie where it's aware enough that they were hitting in the right directions. Like I was saying, it's like some of the stuff that I think hits and works is just kind of I think that either they fell into accidentally or because it was either by necessity or whatever. But I think a lot of it is yeah, this is funny, this radioactive, the radioactive thing, or even this ridiculous fucking bit where the jock and the regular girl man, wow, what a great time, let's go ahead and fuck right here on the floor, and the nerd is I'm gonna go to the bathroom, or whatever he says. And the nerd is there. It's I may have, and it's just this is also, almost funny. Yeah, and I think it could be funny too. But it's their families are dead and their friends are dead, but it's we got the turkey. We still got the turkey, and you know what? And now I've got a girlfriend. Yep. And so it's well, yeah, because hey, you want to be my girlfriend? Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Awesome, she's gonna go out with me, and the nerd's just aggressively eating popcorn. He's yeah, fuck yeah, I can't wait to wipe my mouth later. Well, there's total I'm getting it's building towards a cuck vibe, but then all of a sudden he's nope, because he's so into their conversation of their date starting, Well, I'm gonna go pee now. Which, yeah, but it almost works for me. But I guess it's because maybe because they didn't show a wide. Maybe I want to see them boning.
They
or
don't
whatever.
like the wides.
They don't like the wides because again, probably they only had the one lens or whatever. But
Well, the tone of like the topless, like the fact that the opening shot is a boob,
yeah,
you thought would set up more of a tone of raunchiness throughout. I'm not complaining because I didn't see boobs for an hour and 6 minutes, but it's just like it's such a bold tone setter that it doesn't continue with. Like it's ridiculous, like because that's so fucking ridiculous, and there's ridiculous moments in the movie.
it just definitely feels like the type of movie where you're like, or like that they were like, yo, I've got the perfect shot to open this movie.
I mean, it's stupid, but it's also iconic. Like you'll never forget. That's like, think of your favorite movies, some awesome movies. You won't remember the opening shot, but this movie, you'll never forget the opening shot.
It is a boob.
Yeah, for that reason. I mean, it's not that it's artistically profound or anything.
It
or
is
bold,
a boob.
but it's
It is a close up of a boob.
But
and it does exactly what they wanted it to do. Is be a close up of a boob and be shocking.
Yeah.
But it's like that's what everything feels like. Oh, dude, what if this?
Yeah.
You know, which again isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Well, I like if you can like I love the
like them his fucking still beating heart.
Well, see, I don't know. This is the first thing that comes to mind is like, and it's always sunny. Like you definitely get the vibe that like they're friends just collaborating.
Yeah.
Or like you can like, oh, that was probably something they did last minute. That's funny.
Yeah.
For this, you don't really get that vibe. For something that's so homegrown among friends, clearly, I don't get a good vibe of that they were making this for like, or I don't get the vibe that they were having fun.
Yeah.
Pitching ideas and working off each other. I don't like. I think
like the actors don't seem like they're that much into on the joke.
And if they were in on it and if they were part of the creative process, which they might have been, I think that would have been better. But I don't get that vibe. I get the vibe that it was maybe 2 or 3 guys championing this, and they pulled along whoever they could pull along.
Yeah.
And then that's why maybe it feels uninspired, and maybe that makes the role of some of these other people more admirable. But I'm also speculating, and I don't know these people. I don't know what went into the project, but that could be a fun documentary, honestly.
Like this fucking, like what this movie was.
Find these people, interview them, and
this, I mean,
whatever behind the scenes they have, like just go to the, I don't know.
I mean,
maybe there's something there.
That again, that's what makes this work for me, or that's what would make this work for me is if they fucking committed, and I mean, obviously shoot it better or whatever, but if you commit, because if you don't have the technology and you don't have like the special effects and stuff, something needs to be good. Like the story needs to, like it needs to be written well and
be charm at least.
Funny, or the actors need to be good even if it's not written well, or they need to have bought in. This is just like, you know, everything is on the same level where it's like, oh, you know, we've got our one lens and the one camera, so, you know, that's what we're going to shoot on, and we've got 5 different lights that we use, we've got a couple things to, you know, blah, blah, blah. And again, I'm not like, oh, if they only could shoot it better or whatever. It's like, you can make a good movie and not, like, have great equipment.
Yeah.
You know, like that is not the thing that's stopping you. Anybody out there who's like, oh, I don't have a good camera, I don't have a cool camera. It's like, fuck it. Use your iPhone. Steven Soderbergh uses iPhone for a thing.
Yeah, so did the director of Parasite, I believe.
Yeah, so did the
not for Parasite, but
yeah, so did the director of it's a movie Tangerine, but the guy who directed the Florida Project, the A24 guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he shot it all on the iPhone, or you know. For years, people have been doing fucking cool stuff without technology. But this movie is a sum of its parts, where the acting is not good or they're not committed to what the bit is. The special effects are fine and they're fun. The shot technique is not fun.
Yeah.
You know?
I think one thing that didn't need to get better, I think that was fine. For what it was the special effects.
Yeah.
and the makeup or whatever special effects makeup were fine.
Yeah.
I think that's good. Not so good.
Oh,
but,
no.
It's what it needs to be.
Oh no, they missed the kiss. They missed the kiss. Oh, it would have been her first kiss.
I don't know.
Let's go ahead and say that is her first kiss because it's more fun that way, I think.
Well, the dynamic of the groups and it's more high school than college.
Yeah.
Like just getting to know each other, the flirtiness. Like the college athlete, especially a football one, unless it's the one true love or truly smitten by the person, he is not. He's going for it. He's not going to be timid.
Even if he's got a fucking turkey carver's tabs in his chest, he's like, hell yeah, let's kiss, let's make out right now.
Yeah.
I also, this movie I thought was over, and I thought that they, like when they kicked him in the radioactive waste, I was like, oh, this movie's over.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, it's still going.
And
Okay.
then it goes again with the bonfire kill, but then you think it's over.
And then I thought it was over.
The way this thing ends, we're wrapping up this podcast, but
As we're wrapping up the
the
movie.
end is so bizarre, and it just further pushes a whole new suite of like friends and family of these filmmakers. And the movie ends with a Thanksgiving dinner.
I love this dude's fucking face as he says his line. He's got his turkey hat on. What are you wearing? The hat.
I don't know. You should get one of those for Thanksgiving.
Oh my god.
But this is who did they got all their friends like like this little girl. They got this little girl, this child in this film, a film that opens up with the boob.
Yeah.
How do you explain that to her? How do you explain that to the parents, the family? What is the dynamic here? Where
You got to find cool parents.
I guess.
You know.
I mean, obviously, if this is a creative group of creators, typically
Yeah.
speaking, the parents are usually creatives or they understand creativity
or
or
something,
or whatever.
Maybe they don't
So-
understand the full scope of things.
but they're supportive, or even
Yeah.
if there's good love there, then it doesn't matter. They'll support it. But the movie ends with the Thanksgiving dinner and the cooked turkey.
Do I smell a sequel, bitch? Oh, there's nobody in the background of that shot. I just realized that's a empty shot right there where they just had the turkey flying at him.
And the movie ends with the to be continued in space,
Oh,
which I don't know. There is a second one.
I think there's 4
Oh my god.
additional writers.
What the hell? So the first, that's weird. So credits.
Naked
Usually-
Pilgrim was Wanda Lust.
Okay, so
I bet
this
you
is
she was
porn
like
star.
a stripper or a porn star or something
Yeah.
like that.
So the hermit is General Bastard,
Nice.
but it's interesting. The first credit is additional writers, and not like UPM or cast or director or producers.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, but that's ThanksKilling, guys.
That's ThanksKilling
We
right
hope
there.
Thanksgiving has already happened.
Yeah.
We had to put 13 going on 30 at the 30 spot.
Yeah. We got to put it there.
So I mean, it would have made more sense for this to be last week, but also made more sense for 13 going on 30.
13, hey,
To be our
listen.
30th.
We come first.
Yeah.
Our fun little weird.
This had stock footage in it.
I believe it. Man, this is. Oh man.
So General
General
Bastard
made the ThanksKilling theme.
I liked it. Worked. It was.
I
not
liked
great,
it.
but it worked.
Man, this movie doesn't work for me. I think that in the end of the day, I want it to be. The acting is not good.
Yeah.
I would say I'll give the acting a D. The writing is. I'm gonna give it a C plus.
The writing.
I'll give the writing a C plus.
All right.
Because they have moments of self-awareness and they bring some stuff home, but they lose a whole letter grade for that fucking awful John Benet Ramsey joke, just awful.
They got a bunch of stuff for looks like from LMU, Film School Department.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know.
The camera is a D, the direction is a D because they couldn't get the actors on board
Yeah.
with what was happening.
I mean, I gave it a 2 out of 5. Or no, maybe a 1 out of 5. I think I gave it a 2 out of 5 because there was entertainment value there and nostalgia there.
I think it's good as a drinking game.
But it's a half-star to star movie for sure. But I gave it a 2. I gave it 2 turkey legs out of 5 just because, you know, it was entertaining. There's even some throwbacks to like messing around and making movies with my friends.
Yeah.
that I liked and I saw in it, and I was like, oh, that's nice, that's fun. I remember that. It brought back memories of my own. Even like just the kitchens with the wood cabinets and the white appliances even threw me back. So
I
don't know.
I definitely no, and I think that's one of the reasons I want to I hang on to it, and it's like maybe I will show this movie to my friends or try and watch it with my friends and stuff. Yeah, it's just so I'm gonna give it one opening shot pilgrim boob out of 5.
Yeah, I'll switch mine turkey legs to 2 opening shot boobs out of 5.
Yeah. I only saw the opening shot, so I only saw the one boob, and then I was like, all right, that's it for me.
Yep.
Can't get any better.
I wonder what the relation to Wanda Lust is.
Wanda Lust.
It's probably like one of the friends or one of the people in the circle's aunt or distant cousin or something, and it's like, yeah, dude, my cousin's in town.
Lust.
I don't know. I'm just
Wanda Lust.
trying to make this up.
Wanda Lust, actress. She's known for ThanksKilling and ThanksKilling 3. She's in
she comes
ThanksKilling
back?
3.
Hype.
What's your IMDb?
Maybe we should become a ThanksKilling podcast.
That's it. We only watch ThanksKilling. We watch it over and over again. Okay. Well, that's
I bet there's not much on her.
biography.
So if you guys can find some info on Wanda Lust, let us know in the comments below. Give us her story.
Oh,
her
okay. Yeah,
involvement.
she's a porn actress.
Yeah, I mean,
Older women, younger men 9. MILF shakes. Mature kink orgy number 7. MILTF 24. Bust a nut 6. Bust a nut 5 is after
wow.
Bust a nut 6.
interesting.
Girl swirl. MILF does a brother good. MILF does a body good too. MILTF 30. Lesbian MLTF 2. 40 plus video magazine 46. Dirty Jokes the movie. Older women, younger women 9. Older women, younger men 11. Her first older woman 2. Cock smoking grannies.
Hey, that's Stinky Popcorn Boys podcast.
And as they say in Newark, Ohio, nice tits, bitch.